The Thing.
Bruisers!
Invisible Woman. Mr. Fantastic. The Human Torch.
Fantastic Four!
Iceman.
To the defeat of Dr. Doom.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
There's a Harold Hogan online too for you.
Ah, my cybernetic helmet. Thanks. I owe you one.
There's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
The mutant amplifier vastly augments any mutant's natural power. So a psychic that can lift a book will become powerful enough to lift a bus.
Red Ralston is on line 6.
Yes, but it has some serious side effects. The amplifier causes damage to the DNA of any mutant it's used on.
Your device is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapons lab.
Not much. The serum's only worked on Captain America. There's something very peculiar about his physique. That, plus the doctor who originally developed it, is dead.
Miss Bambi and Miss Heather are still
He'd
waiting
wind
for
up
you
with a
in the
bunch
main
of
lobby,
muscle-bound
Mr. Stark.
beasts, just like you saw in the Omega. They're psychotic, violent, and unable to take orders. Not exactly what you'd want from an army.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is
there's
Ben
no
Grimm's
problem at all.
65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
Hello again. How may I be of assistance?
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan.
Namor is the first known hybrid of Homo sapiens and Homo mermanus, humans and merpeople.
Mr. Stark,
He can breathe water and air, but if he's away from water too long, he will begin to weaken. As with most merpeople, he has an inborn distrust of surface dwellers, and true to his belligerent nature, Namor can take his distrust to the extreme.
Is on line 6.
The Atlanteans are distant cousins to your race. Having evolved on the ocean floor, it is impossible for them to breathe air. Because they live in the extreme conditions of the ocean, merpeople are very hardy. They are stronger than humans, can swim up to 30 miles per hour, and live to be over 150 years of age.
Heather are still waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark.
I am glad to be of assistance.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Ben Grimm's 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
We just received a message from Namorita, the cousin of Namor. Apparently, there is a riot going on in Atlantis.
There's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you.
Unknown, but for some reason, the Atlanteans have forcibly removed Namor from his throne.
Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
Yes, which means something is seriously wrong. See Wyatt when you are ready to go to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s outpost in Atlantis.
In the electronics lab.
We do not know. He has been a fair and just ruler for many years. The people love him.
Warning, a small
Perhaps. But Namor has always been kind to his people. There has to be some other explanation for this mass hysteria.
The president is on line 5, Colonel Fury.
When merpeople and surface dwellers first met, there was quite a bit of hostility. There were even several invasion attempts.
Miss Bambi and Miss Heather are still waiting for
The relationship between our two races is lukewarm at best. The Mer people prefer to keep us at arm's distance. Once you reach our Atlantis outpost, you will be infected with a special nanotechnology. Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Pym had a hand in developing it. It will allow you to breathe water with no discomfort. You will also be able to move along the bottom of the ocean as if you were moving on dry land.
Mr. Stark.
You are quite welcome.
And Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
What did you think of the Omega, Dr. Richards?
That's quite a facility,
The
Colonel.
nanotechnology team will be meeting in the electronics lab.
SHIELD's directive is to keep the world peace. To do that, we have to monitor the activities of every major civilization. I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy, and that's why they aren't going to find out about it.
And this was last seen in the weapons lab.
We realize now that Doom had no intention of commandeering the helicarrier. They attacked to draw additional security forces there. Correct. The Omega and the experiments it held was their prime objective all along.
Mr. Stark.
Dugan's still trying to sort things out, but apparently the base sustained only minor damage.
Johnny Storm would like you to know.
Yes, they've been locked in a cold storage unit on level 3. Aside from some minor cases of frostbite, everyone was fine. You're welcome.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you. Mr. Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby.
Welcome and good day to you. I am Edwin Jarvis, personal butler to Mr. Anthony Stark. This area is where Mr. Stark carries out the research and development of his Iron Man suit. As you can imagine, the body armor has become so complex that a staff of technicians is required. You may walk around and inspect the facilities. I believe you'll already find several of your compatriots here.
The name's Jack Hammer, but you can call me Weasel. Everyone does. Yeah, and don't worry, I came in through the back. No one saw me. Wyatt Wingfoot gave me a damaged laptop. Said you heroes wanted to know what data was on it. Yeah, that laptop holds security information for a building called the Imperium. I can find out, but you'll have to get me the password into SHIELD's priority files. Oh, there's 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help.
Ah, splendid. You located the missing cufflink. It was a gift from Miss Virginia Potts when she had been Mr. Stark's secretary. My name is Edwin Jarvis, and I'm Mr. Anthony Stark's butler, as well as the butler for the Avengers. You could say it runs in my blood. My mother and father worked for Mr. Stark's parents. It is a dream of Mr. Stark's that was 4 years in the making. The top 3 floors are his living quarters. The rest of the building houses his business interests. No, not any longer. Mr. Stark recently had a change of heart concerning that particular field of industry. This is primarily where new Iron Man suits are built for Mr. Stark. Oh, indeed he does. But as his designs have grown more and more complex, he has required assistance in manufacturing them. It was my pleasure.
Hey, how's it going? Sure. Anytime.
I know seeing the Super Soldier project has raised some concerns about S.H.I.E.L.D., but let's get all the facts before we cause any trouble. I think S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot to deal with, and sometimes it makes mistakes, but historically, it's done a great job of keeping the peace. I saw they were testing out a new version of the Super Soldier Serum, the same type of drug that gave me my strength and agility. Yes. During World War II, I volunteered for Operation Rebirth. It was a program for creating physically superior soldiers. I exceeded their expectations. Unfortunately, Dr. Erskine, the man who developed the drugs, was killed, and no one's been able to recreate his work. I have to admit, things sound kind of suspicious. Like, why was she carrying that laptop during the attack on the helicarrier? No, I'd need a lot more evidence before I'd say something like that about the Black Widow. Anytime, friend.
I must admit, I find news of a S.H.I.E.L.D. outpost near Atlantis very intriguing. Now I know the extent S.H.I.E.L.D. is willing to go to gather information on countries with closed borders. Indeed it does. And now I wonder if perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't have an outpost hidden there. We have the largest deposit of vibranium in the world. To open our borders would be an invitation to those who would conquer us. Over the centuries, fools have tried. But the Black Panther is always there to stop them. Indeed I am. Victor Von Doom has created a sizable army of supervillains. I don't know. But Doom must have a truly grand scheme to risk attacks on the helicarrier and the Omega base. You are quite welcome.